Now, there's two types of seller accounts. There's individual, and it used to be called a pro merchant. Now it's called a sell professionally account. One is free, the individual, or is a free account, and pro merchant costs $39.99 a month. So here's the difference between them. Individual account, they also call it sell your stuff. If you're only selling a few products, less than 40 items a month, you're going to save money, because if you're selling on an individual account, you're going to be charged a per product sold fee of 99 cents. So that's an extra fee that pro merchants or sell professionally accounts are not being charged. So the difference, a pro merchant account, and they keep changing the name, a professional plan or a sell professionally account. If you have more than 40 orders a month, you want to be on this type of account. It gives you extra tools, extra analytics. It's a monthly subscription fee of $39.99, but that 99-cent per item fee is waived. So 40 items a month, this is free. More than 40 items a month, it's less than free. You're actually saving money. Now, if you're enrolled here in ScamPower University, you need to be selling more than 40 items a month. That's a little more than one product a day. That's where you need to be. Everybody should be a pro merchant. Everybody should be doing sell professionally. They often have free trials. It's normally a 1 month free trial. Oftentimes they'll run a 2 or 3 month free trial for being a pro merchant. Is really never been a time in history where it's such a low cost to get started. So I really encourage you and almost make it a requirement. You got to sign up for Sell Professionally, but first get stuff to sell. All right, you don't need a seller account if you don't have anything to sell, but get products to sell, open up your account, get selling, and ramp it up to where you're selling more than 40 items a month. And if you're not, you almost don't even need to be on Amazon. It's just not going to, just a few items a month isn't really going to be worth your time. But it's so easy to grow. So if you need help getting that 40 items a month, please come in the ScamPower University Facebook group. Come on our Spreecast, ask questions so that we can help you get to that level. So which one? Some people are going to start small, and that's more than fine. You can certainly add Pro Merchant afterwards. There are some nuances to being an individual seller, adding Pro Merchant instead of starting as a Sell Professionally account. The last time I checked, it's just better to start as a Sell Professionally account because there are a few features that you don't get by being individual with Pro Merchant status. And in time will tell if Amazon, tidies this up and makes it super simple. But at the time, it makes sense just to start sell professionally. But you're just going to save money. It's a mathematical formula. If you're selling more than 40 items a month, it's a better choice. So there's several different types of categories on Amazon. It's not just wild, wild west where everybody can sign up for anything. There's open, there's gated, and there's closed. If it's open, anybody can list. If it's gated, you have to be qualified. You have to go through an approval process. And if it's closed, don't waste your time. Okay, they're just closed. They're not accepting new sellers. So any seller can list in these categories, and these will change. They'll open categories and they'll close categories. You can find a current list on Amazon. But gated, one of the most common ones that comes up is clothing. People want to know if they can sell clothing, like even if it's just hats and T-shirts and sunglasses and stuff like that. You have to get approval. It's not impossible. It's you have to jump through a few hoops. But if you want to sell in these categories, I highly encourage you guys just get started. Get the process going. Follow through. Every time Amazon writes back with what they want, give it to them. All right, because once you get approved in these other categories, there's a lot less competition because a lot of people, they're lazy. They don't do it. So follow through, get approved in these categories, and it's going to make your seller account even more valuable because you're going to be able to sell more products and take advantage of more opportunities that other sellers who are not approved won't be able to take advantage of. Less competition, guys. There's closed categories. They're not open to new sellers. Again, these listings will change. And some of the ones on here, you can probably assume that they're not being opened up to just any new sellers. But keep an eye on the Amazon pages. If they open them up or turn them to gated, that's where you'll see that. Now, why does Amazon do this? Amazon wants a very consistent marketplace. They want a place that buyers trust. It's what we talked about earlier, the Amazon customer experience. And consider this. The toys and games category leading up to the fourth quarter of each year, they don't even accept new sellers. They don't want their customers having a bad experience because a new seller comes on and says, "Oh, I got 100 Tickle Me Elmos, and oh, I'll just go get them if I get the orders." And boom, they get 100 orders and they can't fulfill them, or they can't get the product, or they just simply can't ship on time because they're just not set up to ship 100 boxes. They don't have the boxes, they don't have the labels, they don't have the tape, whatever it may be. Amazon's saying, we don't even want those sales. We're going to take a hit on our bottom line rather than have a chance that our customers have a bad experience with a new seller. And the good thing is FBA sellers are exempt. So as long as your items are in the Amazon warehouse, Amazon will still ship them. But if you're looking to get started, and get started, get the ball rolling. So that if you want to sell in toys and games in the fourth quarter and do merchant fulfilled, you're approved. All right, don't wait till the last minute and then wonder why you're not approved. Take the steps now and get approved. And we certainly, recommend using FBA. It just takes a lot of the pain points out of it. So going back to the difference between Amazon and eBay, you get difference in listings. If you got eBay, you have 50 different sellers, 50 different items. Each seller has their own item, and there are going to be 50 listings because each seller is going to have their own listing. Compare that to Amazon. Those same 50 sellers with their same 50 items, but they're all listing on one listing because they're all selling the same thing. We don't need 50 listings. We don't need to search and go around and get lost and compare this price to that and who has the better return policy. No, one listing, pick your seller, pick your price, and be done with it. So Amazon really kind of trumped eBay here, in my opinion, making it easier, one, for the customers to shop and search and find what they want, and easier for the sellers to list. Instead of making individual listings each time, it's like, no, a DeWalt battery is a DeWalt battery. I mean, there's nothing to really talk about here. So it's easier to find what you're looking for, consistent listings, and they're not jumbled. So check this out. This is a search for DC9096, which is a DeWalt 18-volt battery. 726 results. You got 1-packs, 2-packs, in retail packaging, 4-pack. They're kind of all over the place. It's an open picture. You don't know if they're new or not. You have to go through, and see what their policy is and all this stuff. And it just makes it hard you have to look at a whole bunch of different things to find what you're looking for. But on Amazon, each product has its own page. So the first one is a single pack. And it says there's 37 new, and here's the lowest price. The second one's a 2-pack. Second one's 2-pack with a charger. Or third one's 2-pack with a charger. Fourth one is a 5-pack. So I don't have to look at 37 different sellers all selling one battery. I just find the one battery and then choose the seller that I want to buy from. It just makes a lot more sense. And eBay's actually started to do this with some items. I think they'll start doing it with some electronics like iPods and iPhones, stuff like that. And I think it'll help the customer experience. So if you look at new merchant offers here, this is the offers page, and you'll see it's sorted by price, and they sort this by price plus shipping. So it's a total net price. So Amazon here is the lowest total price, and then it goes up from there. Lower price, but by the time you add shipping in, they have a higher net price. And you see they're all conditioned new. You don't need any notes, it is what it is. So a buyer can choose who they want to buy from, Amazon or this guy with this feedback. You can compete on price, whatever it may be. It's just one place to go. You don't have to go hopping around and comparing a bunch of stuff. So when you see this and you're thinking, how am I going to differentiate myself on Amazon, right? If we're all selling the same stuff, is price the only thing we can use to differentiate? And it's not the case. It seems that way, but it's really not. There's lots of ways you can differentiate yourself. Certainly you want to have better feedback than your competition, and you get that by providing what? A great customer service experience. You can add a description on new items. There's really nothing to add. But if you're listing collectible or used books, you can certainly describe your books as, clean. Every book is clean, inspected every page. I shrink wrap all my books. I wrap them all in bubble wrap, whatever it might be. You can describe them and try to attract a buyer who wants a seller who puts in a little more effort versus someone who uses a stock description and you're not even sure if it's going to be the right book. So you can use a description strategically to attract a better buyer in a better price. And sometimes price says a lot. You don't want to be the lowest price. You don't want to go to the lowest price brain surgeon. All right, price says something. Some people want to spend more. They feel they're getting a better product because that item can't sell for that low. So don't think that everybody's a price buyer and you have to compete on price. You can certainly, if you're doing merchant fulfilled, you could offer a better return policy than your competitors. Featured merchant status doesn't apply as much as it used to. It used to separate the offers. It doesn't do that as much anymore. And we'll talk a little bit more about using FBA to differentiate from your merchant fulfilled competition. But like we said earlier, on Amazon, there are no listing fees. So you might as well try it out. And all the fees, the fee structure, the commissions, they're all known ahead of time. So if you've got a DeWalt 18-volt battery and you want to try listing on Amazon, it's free. Just list it. Check your fee structure ahead of time. You're going to know exactly what payouts you're going to get if you're happy with it or not. So set your price where you want it. There's really no risk to trying this. Creating listings on Amazon is not difficult. You can create your own listings. If you're just making them without a UPC, you will be listed in the everything else category, which is kind of a death sentence. Customers are simply not going to find your item in the everything else category. It's not searchable, and the way the other categories are, Amazon is not going to cross-reference items back to everything else category. So it's difficult for customers to find. If you can promote your own products, by all means, but they're not really going to find it organically. So if you want to add products to the Amazon catalogs, you need a UPC code. So if you've got a new product, UPC code is on the product. You just follow the steps. When you get to the UPC code, you're going to enter it. Amazon does this. They want a consistent marketplace. Now, the Amazon catalog and their UPC system is kind of jacked up and it's far from perfect, but it is what it is. And they want us to keep adding to it and making it better. If the UPC that you're using is already used on another product and you put it in, it's going to take you that product where you can list the item. So you may say, hey, I got these products, they don't have a UPC, and I certainly don't want to list everything else, but this is kind of like this best kept secret, and a lot of people know about it now. It's not as much of a secret as it was 7 years ago when I kind of figured it out. You can buy a UPC, which I never would have thought you could until someone from Amazon suggested it. You can just buy a UPC, and you can just Google. There's 100 places that'll sell you barcodes. They're very inexpensive. I would encourage you not to go too cheap. You want to find ones that are actually legit. It's certainly easy to pretend you sell barcodes. So ask around, check reviews on sites and find one that you're comfortable buying, and you buy a barcode and you assign it to a bundle or a product or whatever you're making, and you create a product page. And once you have a product page on Amazon, then you can list on it, you can sell, and you can send to FBA. So being able to create new listings is very powerful. You want to be able to add products to that Amazon database, and you can be first to market. So it's a very strong position to be in. You can be the first one to start getting those sales at a higher price before competition comes in, kind of drives prices down, and you'll be on an item that is likely not going to have Amazon as a competitor. They may come in on it eventually, but it might be an item that Amazon can't even get. So you're not going to be competing with them. The problem with this is if another seller has your exact same item, they can hop on. They can piggyback on the listing that you've created, as long as they have the exact same item. Just like me or you or any other seller hops on another listing. Once a listing is created, any seller can list on it if they have the exact same item. So just be aware that competition can come in if you're just listing a product off the shelf that someone else may be able to get. You may end up with competition. But guys, UPC costs should not hesitate to create these pages. Even if UPC costs $20 like I used to spend, if you sell 20 or 200 items with that listing, it's only 10 cents a listing or per item. It's really not that big a deal, and they're a lot less than $20 now. They used to be 20, a lot less than they are now. So that's kind of Amazon versus eBay in a nutshell, and I hope you found this information useful.